We spend a lot of time talking about writing here on AuthorTube. But what do I do when I'm not writing? I'm so glad you asked. Hey Dragonlings, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name SD Hegyes, and today we are doing the Writers Not Writing tag. This was originally created by Nikki J. Marcus. It's been on my list of tags to do for a long time, and I'm starting to get around to different tags. So let's go ahead and do it. I was not directly tagged to this, but I've been wanting to do it for a while. It's been on my list to do. There are 10 questions, all of which I will have listed in the description, as well as the original video that I found. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Question number 1. Do you have a day job? I do in fact have a day job. Day job is a strong word though, because I work night shift. I work 9 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. with a 30-minute lunch break, unpaid lunch break. And yeah, so I work a night shift. I am, the technical term is EVS technician. It stands for environmental services technician. I'm a housekeeper. I work at a clinic, and after everyone has left for the night, I clean the clinic. I clean the procedure rooms. I clean the reception area. I clean the waiting area. I sanitize everything. And I scrub toilets for a living. And you know what? I don't want to hear anything bad about that because it's actually a good job. It's physically demanding, but it's not mentally demanding, which means I get to, especially since I work by myself on that shift, I am the only one that works that shift. So I'm spending all night by myself. I get a lot of time to think about the writing I want to do. I get a lot of time to listen to music. I get a lot of time to listen to YouTube videos as if they are a podcast, which is how I watch a lot of YouTube videos these days, is just listening to them. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. It passes the time, and it pays extremely well considering. So I'm not mad about it. I like my job. May not like my bosses, may not like the company, but I like my job. The job itself is great. Question 2, are you a reader? I kind of already answered this in the previous question because I mentioned audiobooks and listening to audiobooks, and the answer is yes. Yes, I am a reader. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I read a lot of ebooks. I don't read a lot of physical books, but I am a reader. I like to read. I love to read. Question 3, what are your other hobbies? I have a lot of other hobbies. It depends on what day you ask me. The main hobby I always have time for these days is gaming. I do a lot of gaming, whether it is by myself playing games like Skyrim, Final Fantasy, Stardew Valley, Sims. But I also play a lot of online games. Recently, my husband has finally convinced me to start playing Destiny with him, so we play Destiny 2 together a lot. And then we also do RPGs, or tabletop RPGs, such as Dungeons & Dragons. I am part of a couple of different campaigns doing Dungeons & Dragons, and my kids are also doing Dungeons & Dragons, so we're trying to do a family Dungeons & Dragons campaign. It's going to be great when we finally get it all together and make it work. But yeah, gaming is the first thing that I would say. But I also like doing arts and crafts. I'm very much, I used to do something called Project Life, which is basically scrapbooking, but it was with pre-set up pages. The pockets were already set, so you just stuck your pictures in the different pockets, or the note cards in your pockets. You didn't have to glue or tape anything. You just done. I did a lot of scrapbooking. I still do a lot of scrapbooking. I've done art in the past, whether I've been drawing or sketching. I do have wash paint that I'm starting to use, and I'm starting to do crafts like that. I am not so much a gardener. Gardening is not one of the crafts I do. I've done diamond art painting. Back to the arts and crafts stuff. I'm trying to think of what else I do. I've done some loom knitting. I'm not very good at it. I've only done a few things here and there, but I've enjoyed what I have done. I don't think there's any other hobbies that there's probably hobbies I'm missing that I can't think about, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. So, moving on. Question 4, tea or coffee? Neither. I'm not a coffee drinker. I'm not a tea drinker. I do not like either one. That being said, every once in a while, I will take sips of my husband's coffee because he doctors it with enough sugar that I can't taste the coffee. Coffee to me is very bitter. Or like a lot of people are like, you should like Starbucks. No, I do not like Starbucks. To me, Starbucks tastes like mop water. I think I'd rather drink my mop water from my mop, which has disinfectant in it, because at least then my body will be disinfected as well as poisoned. I'm just saying. So yeah, not a coffee drinker, not a tea drinker. When I do drink coffee, it's literally because my husband has put so much sugar in it that I can't taste the coffee anymore. It's more milk and sugar than it is coffee at this point. Um, so yeah. And then tea, again, bitter. I don't like it. I have not tried a tea that I like, whether hot, cold, or whatever. It does not matter. I have not liked any I've tried. Question number 5. What are you passionate about? Outside of writing and reading and arts and crafts and gaming, I think I'm passionate about all the things that I do in my life. Like, I don't want to do things I'm not passionate about. I like spending time with my kids and going out on adventures. Like, I would love to go hiking. I would like to do indoor skydiving. I have no desire to do skydiving in real life. That is a death wish. Thank you very much. No, thank you. However, I would love to do like indoor skydiving. I like roller skating. I like going out on adventures. I like going out and doing something. So I guess that's something I'm passionate about. I like spending time with people that I know and love. Like, I like going out. When I go out and do these adventures, I don't want to do them by myself. I want to do them with someone. So I like going on adventures with people. That's something I'm very passionate about, I guess. Question 6. Do you have any pets? I do. They are actually featured in a lot of my videos, whether in like B-roll clips or just pictures I've taken. I've got 2 dogs and 2 cats. Our 2 cats are Pixel, which is my oldest daughter's cat. She's a gray and white tabby. And then we got Bagheera, or Baggy, who is the family cat. He pretty much adopted my husband for the most part. He's our black cat. Hence the name Bagheera. I also call him Fang Kitty because he has his canines stick out of his mouth a lot of times. As far as our dogs go, we've got 2. We've got, I think both of them are technically mine. I am more the dog person than the cat person though, so that makes sense. Jester is a 5-year-old terrier mix. We don't know what she is exactly, other than some kind of wire-haired terrier. And then Ogre is our best guess Anatolian Shepherd mix. He's definitely not a purebred, but he's pretty big. He's just under 100 pounds. And yeah, so they're both 5 years old. We did find that out. They when he got neutered, they looked at his teeth and they were like, yeah, he's 5 years old. And I was like, that checks. So yeah, we got 2 5-year-old dogs. One is a small terrier, one is a big Anatolian Shepherd mix. So I eventually do want to have more pets because I personally want a snake, whether it is a ball python. I have a specific variation I'm looking at. I either want a cinnamon banana python, or I want a mystic potion python. They're variants that look very pretty, but they're also very rare to get in that combo, so one or the other. Or I want a hognose or a sand boa. So there's technically 4 kinds of snakes I want. I either want a hognose snake or a canyon sand boa. Those are the types of snakes I want. And then my husband and I both want bearded dragons. We used to have a bearded dragon. We've had a couple bearded dragons in the past. And we would like to get another one eventually. So yeah. And then my husband wants an Irish Wolfhound. And I have now met one in person, and I was like, yes, I 100% agree with this. So someday we will have an Irish Wolfhound. He will have his Irish Wolfhound, and it'll be fantastic. Big dogs, big dogs. So, and then the kids, one of them wants a dog, one of them the oldest has a cat, but the youngest wants a dog. So eventually we might get her a dog too, but we'll see. That's future down the line. That's not currently. Currently we only have 4 pets. Question 7. What was your dream job as a child or when you were younger? The first job I ever wanted was thanks to the fact that I grew up reading stories like the Thoroughbred series and the Black Stallion series. So I wanted to be a jockey. I was 10 and already too tall to be a jockey. I could be an exercise rider, but I was too tall to be a jockey. So that dream got killed very quickly. But I wanted to be a horse jockey and a racehorse jockey for many, many moons. That was the first job I ever wanted that I very quickly knew I was not going to be able to do. that lived rent-free in my head. I was like, I'm going to go to Kentucky and I'm going to go join a barn and I'm going to become a racehorse jockey. And then I turned 10 and I discovered how tall a jockey could be max and how much they could weigh max. And I was like, I am already too big for that. Yay. So that dream died very quickly. And then after that, something I didn't want it as a job. Like, I wanted it as like a part-time hobby job. Like, I was like, I want to make money from this, but I don't want it to be like my full-time job, is what I'm attempting to do now. I want to be an author. I am an author, but I want to be like a full-time author. Back then, I wanted to be like, I had an idea in my head that I was going to be full-time, another job, part-time author. And I was going to go to events and I was going to do stuff like that. And then as far as the full-time job was, that has changed over the years. Every couple of years, what I wanted that full-time job to be, it has changed. I did go to college for, my degree is actually in lasers and photonics. So I wanted something in the electronics field. There was a couple of different companies I wanted to work for when I graduated college that I was denied jobs for. I was denied entry-level jobs for. So that dream, again, died very quickly. Now that I'm gotten older, I'm like thinking something in financial. I am going to school for bookkeeping and accounting. So I've been thinking something like that. That was something I probably would have done straight out of high school too, honestly, if I'd had the funds to go to college for it. I did not research enough. That's on me. It's all my fault I didn't go that route. Film is another thing I would have loved to have gone to school for. It was another thing I was like, I wanted to do animation specifically. I'm not good enough at drawing to do animation, but like in my head growing up, I was like, animation is so cool. To this day, I still think it's cool. It is like the greatest thing ever. I love animation, 2D animation, more than 3D animation. And in my head, I was like, I want to go into animation. And again, didn't research enough to go to school for that. Gave up on that dream. That was more me gave up on the dream than attempted to do the dream. Now, the dream is to do, if I stick with that plan of full-time job, part-time author, the dream is to do something with data entry. I absolutely love data entry. Whether that's financial data entry, typing data entry, medical data entry, I do not care. I love data entry, and I would love to get a job in data entry. However, because I have the skills for data entry, I have not found a job who is willing to accept me because I don't have the experience of data entry. Except I do have the experience. I just don't have the job experience because a lot of my job experience is vastly different from data entry. So, yeah, it's something I'm working towards, but not there yet. And then, of course, now I want to be a full-time author and content creator, whether it's creating digital products to sell or YouTube videos or books to publish. Like, I will get there eventually. That's further along in my future, not my past. Question 8. If you could live anywhere else in the world, where would it be? There are a couple places I would love to live. One of which is Iceland. I think Iceland would be a great place to live. The other place is Ireland. My husband is very much in love with Ireland and Scotland, and he's got roots in both Ireland and Scotland, and we would love to go to Ireland and Scotland. And I would not mind living in Ireland. Another place I wouldn't mind living that we will probably never ever live unless very much lots of things change, and that is New Zealand. New Zealand looks beautiful, and I think I would love living in New Zealand. I think my husband would love living in New Zealand, but I don't see that happening anytime soon, if ever. Probably never. But if I could live anywhere in the world, Iceland, Ireland, New Zealand, those are the 3 places that I can think of off the top of my head that I would love to live. That I think my husband would also like to live. I'm trying to convince him about Iceland. He has no desire to live in Iceland. But honestly, he's very much of the mindset that Iceland is covered in ice. So even though he knows it's not, like, his mind will not get past that. So I think that's why he doesn't want to live in Iceland. Plus, we'd be right near some active volcanoes. So that's also a deterrent for him. But someday I might be able to change his mind about Iceland, which would be really cool. And then Ireland actually has I learned about a program the other day, and I was like, you qualify. I do not for this program. They have a program where they'll pay people, like, I think it was $90,000 to move to Ireland, and there were specific requirements that they were looking for that I don't match that he does. So that was fun to learn about. So yeah, someday, maybe. Question 9. Do you speak any foreign languages? I do not fluently. I do not speak any foreign languages fluently. I am currently learning the sign language. I took 2 years of French in high school, just enough that I can actually piece together what people are saying, but I cannot respond back currently to this day. It's one of the languages I do want to take up again in the future. I do want to get more fluent with French. I'm working on it eventually, slowly but surely. Same thing with sign language. I want to get fluent with sign language. And then eventually, once I have mastered those two, at least enough for me to have basic conversations, I would like to learn Spanish. I would like to learn Gaelic. I would like to learn a couple of different other languages. Like I think German would be a good one to learn, for me to learn, especially since I do have German roots. But yeah, there's a couple languages I would like to learn, but I do not know any fluently other than English. I'm not even really good at English 90% of the time, let's be real. And the language I do know, the next language I do know the most of, but again, I'm not fluent at all, is French. I wish I'd taken 4 years of French in high school. I enjoyed it enough. It would have been really cool to have whole conversations in French and be able to like talk back and forth with someone. And now I can barely piece together what people are telling me. I can piece together enough to get the gist. And I definitely can't respond at all. So, c'est la vie. Question number 10. What music would we find in your collection? So I like to tell people that I'll listen to a little bit of everything as long as it has a good beat. But I just recently did my Amazon Music recap, and it turns out that most of my music is pop alternative, alternative rock, alternative. Like, those are the genres I listen to the most, which is absolutely correct. Like, those are my top genres. But, like, if you listen to my playlist, I've got Disney music, I've got soundtracks from musicals, I've got hip-hop, I've got country, I've got 80s rock, I've got some rap, not a lot of rap, because again, I'm more of a beat person versus lyrics person. And rap seems to be the other way around. It's more lyric than beat. So I've got some rap, I've got some hip-hop, I've got some R&B, I've got some jazz. The only thing I don't think I have that makes my husband sad, because it's one of his favorite genres of music, is bluegrass. I am not a huge bluegrass fan. I have listened to a few songs, I have liked a few songs, but I will not just like, if a radio station plays nothing but bluegrass, I'm probably not going to listen to that radio station. I'm just saying. So, yeah, a little bit of everything. If you got any song recommendations, feel free to drop them, because I absolutely love getting song recommendations. Like, tell me your favorite song. Love to know your favorite song. What song has been on repeat for you for the past month or so? I've started doing something new with my writing where I will pick one song for every project I'm working on, and I put that song on repeat while I'm working on that project, and that's been working fantastic. So, like, my Amazon Music Wrapped said I listened to Bad Habits by Nerve a bunch, and that's because not only do I like the song, that was the song I chose when I was writing the Bad Boy Romance, after I had the epiphany to do that and put that song on repeat. Someone else mentioned they had a song on repeat for a while they were working on a project. I was like, that's a fantastic idea, and I stole it. And that's how I worked that project. And that's why I listen to that song the most, according to Amazon. So yeah, drop me your favorite songs. I would love to know them. So there you have it. Those are all the things I do when I am not writing. If you've made it this far in the video, feel free to leave me the emoji that's like the prohibited emoji, the circle with the line through it kind of thing. Just to say that you're not writing. And my question for you today is, what do you do when you're not writing? If you haven't done this tag, consider yourself tagged. Tag, you're it. I would love to know your answers to these questions. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys today, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, Dragonlings.